Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof!
G'day, how you all going? It's Dry That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm getting to have a chat with Johnny Ciardullo of Angelmaker, who did join 2020 as guitarist, but he's also vocalist of Carcosa. Absolute machine when it comes to deathcore. They are gearing up for their electrifying Australian tour. They also are known for their intense and ferocious riffs and sound. Johnny being right behind that all as well. Angelmaker has recently welcomed Ian, where I did have a chat to Ian and Casey about 3 months ago. Ian was, of course, for some of you who don't know, was former vocalist of Rings of Saturn. He is their co-lead vocalist as well. Has a really, really great sound. Really enjoying the new stuff with Relinquished as well. And I know you guys are super excited to hit down under next week with Sylosis. Johnny, thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
Hell yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. I know it's been a busy time for you guys, but first off, I did chat with Casey and Ian. But what was it like for Ian coming on board as the new co-vocalist and starting to move on towards some of the new stuff you've been working on?
It's been awesome, man. I love having Ian. He's such a good vibe to have. He's so calm, he's so reserved. And the best part about Ian too, besides him being a fantastic person, is he comes with 10 plus years of touring experience. So touring with him is just like nothing. It's like turning on a light switch, man. Like he just fits right into our group very, very perfectly. So, man, we couldn't be more happy. I'm excited to see the rest of the world with Ian.
Yeah, it seems to be a really, really seamless transition as well. What was it like for you coming on? It's been, what, nearly 5 years now since you've been on board with Angelmaker, and you're kind of juggling a couple of bands as well, vocalist for Carcosa, pardon me, and then guitarist for Angelmaker. So what was it like, one, coming over and joining the band and having that extra kind of side to work on, that extra band to work on, and then juggling both projects?
It's been an interesting experience to say the least. I joined during COVID, so I joined the band at a really strange time. Because Angelmaker, before COVID as well, was a very heavily touring band and toured a lot of the year. So to have the world fully stop was very tough for them, and they didn't really know, what to do. But Colton wanted to write an album. That's all he knew. He had about half of an album finished, but he wanted to bring on somebody to help him finish the second half. And I am very lucky, and I'm still very privileged that I was that person, and he asked me to do it. It was also kind of strange because at the time, like Carcosa was still being formed. We didn't even announce the band before I joined. So I joined Angelmaker, and then Carcosa was announced. So I've always been juggling those two balls, the Carcosa Angelmaker one. But I'm pretty good at sanctioning my time. I'm pretty good at scheduling. So I've made it work. It definitely makes my life incredibly busy, but this is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I would rather play breakdowns. So if it means that I'm just touring a lot of the year or I'm just writing a bunch of music, oh no, poor me.
Yeah,
You know?
there could be worse things to do, isn't there? And
Yeah.
that's the one thing about being a creative as well, having these projects to work on, being guitarist of Angelmaker, and then having Carcosa as well with vocalist. You'd have so many different ideas and it would excite you with both projects. People think that sometimes you burn the wick at both ends, but it really kind of invigorates you for your other project, having something else to work on. You know what I mean? So it doesn't get too stale as well. Working on one, you go, some riffs, you go, dude, that's not an Angelmaker one, but can use that for
Yeah.
Carcosa as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the balance of it is kind of great because I personally don't think that Carcosa sounds like Angelmaker. I think both bands sound different. So when it comes to getting my head into writing for either band, I'm kind of already there. I know what Angelmaker sounds like, so I can dictate my writing towards that. And Carcosa, it works, man. It's just takes a long time.
Yeah, so you guys are set to kick off the tour next week as well, and I notice you are wearing the Auntie Donna shirt. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that straight away. You must be super excited. Is this your first time down under?
Yeah, this is my first time leaving the North American continent. I've never traveled outside of it, so I'm super stoked. Obviously, being biased because I'm a diehard Anti-Donna fan, I'm just excited to go to Australia and experience the culture and the people. I couldn't be more pumped. But yeah, it'll be my first time. It'll be a lot of the guys' first time there, except for
Yeah.
Ian. Ian's been there before. But yeah, dude, we're pumped. I can't wait to just meet all you crazy fuckers.
Well, you're gonna love it. Canada and Australia have always, I've felt the personalities have been really alike, and the dichotomy of the countries and the way we are in our personalities. I feel like Canadians have always been at a really super close relationship, and I've got a lot of friends who've moved over to Canada, and I know a lot of Canadians that have moved to Australia,
Yeah.
and they've all said the same thing as well. So you guys are really, really going to enjoy it. But that being said, what challenges have you guys faced kind of getting on and kind of coming over to the other side of the world?
Dude, I mean, it's just mostly logistics, right?
Yep.
Like we can't travel with all of our gear, but we
No.
need to travel with, a pretty good portion of it. So spending the money on getting everything over is expensive. I mean, we've spent a lot of money on plane tickets. Luckily, the company that we're working with in Australia takes care of a lot of the flights in country, which is awesome. From what I understand, Australian airlines really take care of touring musicians
Yep.
in terms of like the costs of gear and transporting and all. So I think it's awesome that you guys have that infrastructure. And it kind of like eases my brain because the thing that I'm worrying about more than anything is just like losing gear or shipping gear around and moving it all the time. So that's definitely been the number one thing. It's just like, how are we gonna make this happen, right? But we have a really good manager, Bryce Lucian. He definitely helped with a lot of that. And I'm feeling confident. I'm just feeling ready to go. Like I just want to be there.
Yeah, the Phoenix AU are the mob that are looking after you guys here in Australia. And look, if you have any problems as a band, us Aussies, I know, would be we got you, we got you. There's so many bands around Oz that would be straight up looking after you guys. But that being said, what rig setup are you bringing over?
So, we have this rig that I built a few years ago. It's a three-piece mechanical monster. But the issue that we run into as Angelmaker, as I'm sure you've probably noticed, is there's seven people in the band. So with seven people being in the band, and everybody's on in-ear monitors, I have to build an entire rack just dedicated to wireless monitors. So that takes up the most of anything is that. And then I have a playback machine, and then I have a rig that splits front of house and then to the in-ear monitors. So it's a compact rig. It would be more compact if we had, say, four people. But unfortunately, or no, I think it's fortunate. We have
Yeah.
seven people, but it just comes with other little caveats.
Yeah, that's got an amazing live performance. I can't wait to see you guys as well. You are playing, of course, in my home city of Adelaide on the 12th. You're in Perth to start it off on the 11th, Friday, 14th in Melbourne, Saturday, the 15th in Sydney at the Manning Bar, rounding it out all out at the 16th in Brisbane at the Triffid. What tracks are you looking forward to playing live, dude? There must be some that really like when you
Oh
play,
yeah.
dude.
Um, I've really made a conscious effort with the boys to ensure that we're playing a set list that kind of will tick off every box for everybody that is an Angel Maker fan. And we have a lot of listeners in Australia. Like every time we look at our analytics, it's usually US and then Australia. So we're really trying to make sure that we're playing as much of the old stuff and some of the new stuff that will appease everybody. But dude, like we've toured North America to death. We've played Leech so many times in the US, and it always feels great to play that song because everybody gets super pumped. It's very interactive. So I can't personally wait to play that song in front of people that have never seen it live before. I just want to see what people are like. I want to see how crazy Aussies get when Leech comes on, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to more than anything.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing set. And to kick it off for Sylosis, it's just going to be unreal. The crowds are going to go absolutely mental as well. And with that latest single, Relinquished with Ian on vocals there. What's it like being kind of, I know you can't announce any new material. What's it like being working on some new material? I know the Relinquished is the first single he's kind of dropped as well, but how's it been in the studio wise working with Ian now coming in as the vocals and having him on board?
Dude, it's awesome, man. Like, we really threw Ian into a pretty particular situation in terms of like how the band operates with vocalists because Ian's used to being the only vocalist and writing his own stuff. And I talked to him about his studio experience with Rings of Saturn, and he said like, he would have 2 days to record 14 songs. That's insane. That's nuts. So before we left for that Dahlia tour, Ian came over and we spent about a week and a half recording the record. And it was different for him because he had to write with somebody else and really think about like, okay, if I'm doing this, how is it going to work live, having the two of us do these parts. So there's a lot of like puzzle piecing and building in the studio when it comes to Angelmaker vocals. Like that takes a lot of time. Like a lot of the day is parting everything and then recording it. So new system for Ian to get used to, but damn man, he fit himself in like really well and like a monster in studio too. Like the guy can go forever. Him and Casey both have incredible stamina, so we're lucky to have both of them.
Yeah, I love the way they work off each other with that Relinquished track, and I'm super excited about the future and a new album, which I dare say you guys are going to be hard at work, ready to release sometime later in the year or early next as well. And you
Yeah.
did kind of the last single was for Carcosa Righteous Man as well, I believe, as well in
Yes.
August. That was a cool track. Tell us about that one, dude.
Yeah, Righteous Man was like I've already done a love letter to Quentin Tarantino. Like we did Vermin, right? And Vermin's all about Kill Bill, and he's one of my favorite directors. I love his films so much. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of just felt like I wanted to do it again, but I wanted to challenge myself in a different way, which was instead of just kind of writing lyrics that are reminiscent of Pulp Fiction, I wanted to incorporate the dialogue directly into the song. So I did my very best to try and organize each line so that it made sense in a musical context. And I think it worked out. It's a little bit confusing if you read the
Dude,
lyrics, but like,
I'm a massive Quentin Tarantino fan. Like, dude, you mentioned Pulp Fiction, but it was also Reservoir Dogs. And I remember watching From Dusk Till Dawn was the Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, and Quentin playing the evil dude. I was just blown away by that movie and everything he'd done prior and after as well. Such an intelligent
yeah.
director and super smart. That's why I had to bring it up because it was all-time favorite for me for sure, Quentin
Oh
Tarantino.
yeah. And like it also just really it kind of set us up to do the music video the way that we did it, right? Because it's
Yep.
like why I have these lines of dialogue, so every single line of dialogue we just inserted ourselves into those scenes, right?
Yep.
So honestly, it was more of like it felt like just like a passion project, like a fun thing to do, because Carcosa, the new stuff that we have done is a lot more serious than
Yep.
writing Tarantino stuff. So I know it'll probably throw people for a loop a little bit because they've been used to us writing stuff like this, but it's time to start writing some serious stuff.
Exactly, and it's fun to be able to kind of do that, but kind of do the other stuff as well. Is there anything you're pretty keen to do while you're over here in Australia? I know you're an Arnie Donna fan, but is there anything like besides getting the obligatory shot with a koala? You got to do that.
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm curious to just try the food scene in
Yep.
Australia because I've heard a lot about it. So there's a lot of stuff like that I want to try. I'm not really sure what our day to day is going to look like.
Yeah.
So if I have time to venture and just sightsee, do that kind of stuff, I would love to do that. And yeah, if we get to hold a koala in the process, I'm going to hold a koala.
Yeah, there's so many different things. You're going to love it over here in Australia. We're so huge. Perth, you got to go over and get the photo with the Bon Scott statue. Adelaide,
Yes.
you got to see the big steel metal balls. We've got two big balls, steel metal balls.
Like
The
literally
big,
testicles.
yeah, like testicles, big balls in Rundle Mall, dude. They just kind of sit on each other, dude. It's Adelaide, dude, and then Melbourne's great, and then you got Sydney and Brisbane as well. Look, mate, this has been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to let you bounce out and grab yourself a coffee before the next one. Do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there?
Just want to thank everybody that made it possible for us to come over there, Phoenix and our manager Bryce and our booking agents, all that kind of stuff. Super excited to come over. And just thanks for listening to Angelmaker as much as y'all Aussies do. We're stoked, man. We're pumped.
That's it. If you haven't got your tickets yet, please fucking do. Make sure this is a sellout before the boys get over. Sylosis, Angelmaker, as I said, Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. Chuck in some Angelmaker. Crank it really bloody loud. The neighbours are going to want to hear it too. Cheers, mate. I'll catch you next week.
Cheers, buddy. Appreciate you.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.